Melyssa Ford is officially suspended from the Joe Budden podcast. On the last episode, Melyssa Ford isn't there, and it's all but confirmed that she was suspended by Joe Budden as a result of her actions on Twitter Spaces. And if you doubt what I'm saying, watch Queen's Flip confirm it here.
Yeah, man. Hey, go ahead, girl. I understand. Get the work up. You never know. Don't let that stop you.
Now, that isn't COE. Joe Budden is laughing. He's not even partaking because he knows deep down he made the decision to suspend Melyssa Ford after an incident on Spaces. Now, there's a lot of layers to this, so you have to sit tight as I explain it. Last Sunday, there was a space incident. Now, what happened was Melyssa Ford was going to throw her own space in her community, and she abruptly canceled it, announcing it on Twitter. Well, it looks like Joe Budden and Ian probably instructed her not to do that. So she didn't. But later on, the Joe Budden community would have their own spaces and Joe Budden would appear. Joe Budden would start talking about how Melyssa Ford fumbled the Tracy Ellis Ross segment.
Nigga said specifically to Melyssa Savannah, Mel, do you have anything you would like to say about this Tracy Ellis Ross story? Because if you do not, we do not. She said, cool. And the very first thing out her mouth was, how do y'all feel about this? Which naturally led to whatever the you heard.
That's why you guys reacted like that. Okay.
So I'm not wearing this one.
And I firmly believe Melyssa Ford was in the anonymous and decided to come up on stage and completely lose it.
Whenever Melyssa talks, there's constant interruption or there is a badly placed joke to kind of dismiss what she's saying or just kind of undermine the conversation and move it in another direction. Do you think that I don't think and see and feel these things?
Now, why this is very important is I believe Melyssa Ford was pissed off that Joe Budden told her not to be on Spaces and would later appear on Spaces trashing her and throwing her under the bus. There's some other things that have been happening as well. Melyssa Ford was just on an episode of Shade Room Live.
Uproar in what Tracy Ellis Ross said, that she prefers dating younger guys. She didn't even have to specify what their ages were before everybody flipped out. You know, she's 52. She could be talking about 40 years old. And even though that's a 12-year age gap, a 40-year-old man is still a 40-year-old man.
And her appearance was very telling. She chose to talk about the Tracy Ellis Ross segment. And for the first time, you saw her handle that subject without being talked over, dogpiled, and allowed the runway to speak. And I think that was by choice. Melyssa Ford wants to show what she looks like without Joe Budden in the room. Melyssa Ford is going through it. She has been suspended by Joe Budden. And it will be fascinating to see if she's able to find the balance on the show moving forward. I truly believe that in the beginning, she was overtalked and not allowed to speak. But to be fair to the podcast, she is kind of not well-rounded when it comes to certain subjects. Yes, she isn't allowed to talk, but she doesn't really deliver much when she does get the ability to partake in certain topics. She also doesn't share much of her personal life if you really analyze it. And I think she is the biggest knock to the on-air chemistry between all of the hosts. And we also have to look at the elephant in the room. Joe Budden does not create a welcoming space for women. He pays lip service to how much he loves women. He thinks women are amazing, blah, 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 all of the buzzwords. But on the podcast, there isn't much runway for Melyssa Ford to color outside the lines. It's almost like she's expected to do a certain thing, and when she doesn't, boom, hey, get out of here. Now, I offer up Rory and Mal as an example of somebody or a podcast that, allows a woman co-host the space to become a part of the show. Damaris, right? She's opinionated. She's allowed to speak on any subject. And if she says something stupid, nobody cares because, hey, guys say something stupid and out of line all the time. So it's equal treatment. Whereas on the Joe Budden podcast, it's not the same thing. But let me know what you think. Do you feel like Melyssa Ford is being mistreated on the show. Do you feel like she's going to be on the show much longer? I don't know. I think she needs this check bad. Because why would she put herself through this? It's like every week it's Groundhog's Day and she's going through it like lighter fluid. And I just want to say, man, we all predicted this. A lot of people were in the comment section saying, Danny, she's not suspended. She's working on a movie. She's working on Hot and Bothered. Let's deconstruct that now. Melyssa Ford is not working on any movie. She hasn't been promoting. She hasn't been saying on air, hey, man, I got this movie coming. Check it out. Also, her podcast, Hot and Bothered, has already been filmed. And most importantly, her main moneymaker, the Joe Budden podcast, she should be making room for. So even if she's doing all of that stuff, she should do it in tandem with recording for the JBP. She's suspended. I don't want to hear it. And this is her second suspension. So you know what happens when you keep getting suspended back and forth. You eventually get fired or your role gets diminished. And the next step for Joe will have to be bringing a woman on the show. Another one. And boy, that will be where we see the real fireworks. Now, there's competing theories about why Melyssa Ford didn't want another woman on the show. I think it's largely because she wants to be the only person who's a woman on the show. But also, she knows that not only will Joe Budden make that woman compete with Melyssa Ford, the audience will. We just saw Lauren LaRosa and Jess Hilarious. Oh, it's going to be a crazy storyline. And I don't think Melyssa Ford is ready for that. But if you want Melyssa Ford to get up off the show, if Joe Budden wants to fire Melyssa Ford without explicitly firing her and have her disappear and just be like, I can't do this no more. The best thing to do would be to add a woman. Make it so that her job is redundant. This is what they do in corporate America all the time. Let's hire somebody who kind of has the same role as you, but we pay a little bit less. Therefore, when you speak up, there's Jerry. He does a much better job than you. We also pay him less. We don't want to hear it, Sal. That's what's going to be the next move by Joe Budden. All right, y'all. Let me know what you think. Do you feel like Joe should have suspended Melyssa Ford for her actions on Spaces? Or did Joe Budden gaslight Melyssa Ford by telling her, hey, man, you can't go on Spaces, and then going on Spaces and throwing her under the bus, which prompted Melyssa Ford to go up on stage and confront Joe. All right, y'all. Follow me on Instagram, The Stop TV. Follow me on Twitter, The Stop TV. Follow me on Patreon, The Stop. This is Danny from The Stop. Peace.